It was impossible for me to watch this movie and not think about Stanley Kubrick the entire time just because of the cinematography, the structure of the shots, everything looking like a painting, and especially with the use of reds throughout the story. So much so that I did research afterwards because I felt like there had to be a connection between these two directors, and then I confirmed it. So Stanley Kubrick found that Ingmar Bergman was the greatest filmmaker of their time and even wrote him a fan letter telling him so in 1960, telling him that no other filmmaker inspired him so much with the way that he depicted his vision of the world. So the film that I'm talking about specifically that I just watched was Fanny and Alexander, which is one of Bergman's later films. It was his 80th film. He believed it was going to be his last, and he said of it that it was as if he put all of his films into one. That's Fanny and Alexander. It ended up not being his last. He made about 20 films afterwards. But yeah, there's two different versions of it. There's the theatrical version and the television version because it first came out on TV in four different parts, and then they condensed it and made a theatrical release, which is the version I saw. I definitely want to see the longer version. I just haven't been able to find it. But what I love about this story is not only is it just like so visually stunning, but it's also very compelling and it gives you such a sense of realism with the dialogue, the characters, and the setting. And I love that contrast with like realism with some elements and then like fantasy with the cinematography is like kind of my favorite combo. On top of that, it leaves you asking yourself like this philosophical question afterwards of like, what is good and evil in the perspective of this 12-year-old child? Because he goes from one household to another who have like very contrasting views on life. And the second household that he goes to essentially tells him that everything that he grew up believing was beautiful and good and true is actually wrong and sinful and evil. So that obviously traumatizes him. And it leaves you asking so many questions at the end. And it kind of ends on this like positive slash ambiguous note. But yeah, I really, really love this movie. And if you have seen other Bergmans, but not this one, I would definitely recommend it. If you love Stanley Kubrick, I'd really recommend this film. And if there's any other movie of Bergman's that makes you think that Stanley Kubrick is like sitting next to you watching it with you, then definitely share.